Toxic people are not your enemy by accident. They have chosen you. And if you are watching this video, you have already lost the first battle. They are in your head. But here is what they don't know. The moment you understand the game, you become ungovernable. In the next 10 minutes, I will teach you how to neutralize toxic people so completely they will never see it coming. Let's establish something immediately. Toxic people do not operate on morality. They operate on power. They are not confused. They know exactly what they are doing. And the reason you have not been able to stop them is because you are still playing by rules they abandoned long ago. Whether it's a toxic coworker undermining you, a manipulative family member weaponizing guilt, or a narcissistic partner eroding your reality, these people follow the same ancient playbook. The Romans knew it. Machiavelli codified it. Modern psychology has confirmed it. Here is the truth they don't want you to realize. The toxic person's power exists only in your reaction. Remove the reaction, and you collapse their entire empire. Today, you will learn 5 Machiavellian strategies to neutralize toxic people instantly. These are not suggestions. These are laws. Machiavelli wrote, "Never attempt to win by force what can be won by deception." The first weapon against a toxic person is not confrontation. It is calculated withdrawal. Toxic people are emotional vampires. They feed on your attention, your anger, your justification. Every time you engage, you hand them your power. You become strategically absent, not ghosting, not passive aggression. Strategic absence is surgical. You remain physically present when necessary, but emotionally unreachable. When they provoke, you go blank. When they insult, you respond with the enthusiasm of someone reading a phone book. The mechanism is simple. Toxic people require emotional supply. When you become a stone, they starve. They will escalate, desperately trying to provoke you. This is confirmation you are winning. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire surrounded by vipers. His secret? You have power over your mind, not outside events. When you withdraw your emotional presence, you become a ghost they cannot hunt. Socrates destroyed his enemies without ever raising his voice. His weapon? The question. Toxic people make declarations. They accuse. They project. The amateur defends themselves. The strategist does something far more dangerous. They ask questions. When a toxic coworker says, "You never pull your weight," the Machiavellian response is, "What specifically are you referring to?" Watch them squirm. Toxic people traffic in vague accusations because vagueness cannot be disproven. Force them into specificity and their attack collapses. "You're so selfish. Can you give me an example?" Everyone thinks you're difficult. Who, specifically? This is psychological warfare. You are forcing them to either fabricate evidence or retreat. The Socratic question is a blade that cuts through fog. Robert Greene wrote, "Never outshine the master." Here is the corollary. Never reveal more than is strategically necessary. Toxic people weaponize your vulnerability. Every insecurity you share becomes ammunition. Every dream you reveal becomes a target. This is not paranoia. This is pattern recognition. The toxic person does not listen to connect. They listen to dominate. Your directive: information starvation. Stop explaining yourself. Stop justifying your choices. When a manipulative family member asks why you can't visit for the holidays, The untrained response is an essay of reasons. The trained response is, "It doesn't work for me this year." No explanation, no apology, no negotiation. They will push, but why? It just doesn't work. This is not rudeness, this is sovereignty. The person who explains is the person who surrenders authority. Emotional contagion is real. Toxic people do not merely drain you, they infect you. Their anxiety becomes your anxiety. Their chaos becomes your crisis. You must establish the emotional quarantine, a psychological barrier that prevents their pathology from entering your system. When they are in crisis, you do not internalize it as your emergency. Their poor planning is not your catastrophe. Their emotional dysregulation is not your responsibility. Here is the cognitive shift. Stop asking, "How do I fix this?" Start asking, "Why am I involved in this?" The toxic person's greatest skill is making their problems your problems. They manufacture emergencies to maintain control. Your antidote? The 24-hour rule. When they demand immediate action, you impose a mandatory delay. "I need to think about this. I'll get back to you tomorrow." 90% of their emergencies will resolve themselves because they were never emergencies. They were manipulation tactics. Toxic people want you frantic. Your power is in being unmovable. Here is the truth no self-help guru wants to tell you. Some people cannot be managed. They can only be removed. Not every toxic relationship can be neutralized through technique. Some require complete severance. And your inability to execute this, your hesitation, your guilt, is the chain that keeps you enslaved. Machiavelli was explicit. If you cannot completely neutralize a toxic person, you must completely remove them. Half measures guarantee failure. Limited contact with a narcissist is like limited poison. The dose may be smaller, but the toxin remains. This is not cruelty. This is survivorship. You are not obligated to light yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. The guilt you feel, that was installed by them. The voice telling you, "But they're family," that is not wisdom. That is programming. Ask yourself, is this person contributing to my life or extracting from it? If the answer is extraction, you already know what must be done. Consider this your permission. You have now been given the 5 laws. 1. Strategic absence. Withdraw your emotional supply. 2. The Socratic mirror. Force specificity. Destroy vagueness. 3. Information starvation. Reveal nothing. Explain nothing. 4. Emotional quarantine. Their crisis is not your emergency. 5. Final severance. Some people can only be removed. These are not theories. These are weapons. The moment you deploy them, the toxic people in your life will either conform to your boundaries or eject themselves entirely. Both outcomes are victories. If this video has given you clarity, subscribe. More uncomfortable truths are coming. You are not here to be liked. You are here to be free.